This film, I really wish had subtitles. I really wanted to hear the conversation, what was being said, because the actors were doing such a great performance that I really wanted to know what was happening. I could get some of it, of course, by the emotion in the I guess, flashbacks. But I really, really wanted to know what was going on. Everything about this technically was the production value was spot on, just professional all across the board. Thought it was really beautiful between the locations. I really love the opening and closing shots at the beach, on the bench. The camera work was really well done, whether it was handheld or dolly or, standstill. Just thought, especially in the car, I thought the car shots were amazing. I think car shots can be tricky, and quite honestly, I thought the editing too was just amazing. The coverage they got in the car was so well done. And it kept me intrigued, the different shots that were done and when they were done. I really wanted to know what was being said. The lighting I thought was perfect, the cinematography, the use of colors. I really thought the set locations and the details, the set design were very thought out. I noticed all the yellows and oranges throughout, especially in the kitchen and I think at the gas station. And he was more in dark colors, the main actor, so it kind of was an offset. I just thought everything was so well done. The green screen, work with the car scenes. Just everything was great. So great that I wanted to really know what was going on. I really wanted those subtitles. But obviously the performances were so genuine, and when you don't know what the words are, you really focus on other things. And everything kept me intrigued, and I was kind of, hoping I could know what was going on to know if what I was thinking was exactly what was happening. But it just felt like a real blossoming love story. And I thought maybe the other woman was his ex, who maybe either passed away or they broke up. I wasn't really sure. But again, the shots, the car shot when he was hitchhiking in the car with the wedding stuff on it. Everything was so beautiful. The music, the colors, I can't talk enough about that. I think technically this is so great. I just felt like I was watching an old, almost like a nostalgic, romantic French movie that belongs in the theater, or that's even a classic movie. I just really want to see this again with subtitles. So anyway, great job across the board to everybody. I loved it.
Almost was very sweet. It was a very interesting road trip video. Road trip, I guess short, yeah. And I enjoyed the chemistry between the two. You can feel the process of moving on and seeing them gradually get closer together. It was very sweet.
Almost was a beautiful film. Even though I don't personally speak the language, I think the chemistry between the actors really came through. You could just feel that magnetic attraction that they had with each other and their instant connection in what they were saying, even though I couldn't understand it. I thought that the use of color was also super effective in this one. In the beginning, when he's alone, it's very cool blue tones, and then I believe it's a flash forward when he's in the kitchen. Everything is very warm and orange and yellows when he's with the woman. And then bringing it back to that scene in the end was also super cool to see that they were together and having a child together, and it sort of came full circle, because in the beginning it almost seemed a sad scene with her head was in her hands, like as he brought her tea, and in the end you find out that it's actually happy. So I thought that was cool as well.
Cinematography is wonderful, the music's wonderful, you can see why it won all sorts of awards, and it's just one of those curiosities that there was another French film just like 6 months earlier, also called Press Gay, and that's led to a little bit of confusion, but this film is definitely one that you'd be interested in, and to keep an eye on first Vincent Mignot as an actor, but also Paul-André Robin.
Admittedly, this one was tricky just because of it having no English subtitles and only being in French, but that actually made me focus on some of the other aspects. Cinematography wise, I loved the camera shot of them when they first got to the gas station, of just kind of the whirlwind of moving the car, circling into different person walking out of the coffee shop, different person sitting, just kind of the passage of time from coffee to Chinese food, to different people in the background. Just the way the camera moved throughout that and just things would change almost without you noticing was very, very cool. I also really liked that a lot of the times, every time there was a new woman in the shot, you didn't really know who they were until later on in the scene. Like the woman in yellow, she was pretty blurry or in the background until we saw her up close and realized it was the same woman in the car. That moment too, the sun was shining through the back of the car, so she was backlit and we didn't know who she was until later on and you saw that was the same woman. So I thought that was a very cool way to kind of make you wonder who's who. And yeah,
I really, really loved this. There were several things about this that I really, really enjoyed. I thought, just from like a basic standpoint, their transitions from like to shot were really, really interesting. I thought they had some really, really good transitions with him, like especially in the beginning, like looking a certain direction, and then the next frame is him in that same kind of position, but it's a different scene. Things like that I thought just like really moved the film in a beautiful way. It gave it a lot of fluidity because of how they set those transitions up, and I thought that really added something to the film. And then having the snippet at the beginning and the frame at the beginning that they came back to at the very, very end, but with the two of them, I thought was beautiful. Such a beautiful way to kind of really link the whole film together and really bring it full circle, which I really loved. And then the thing that I actually enjoyed the most, though, was their ability to use the kind of magic that can happen when you're on a car ride with somebody, especially if it's a longer car ride, because you're like in this enclosed space and there's a certain kind of magic and there's a certain kind of feel that can happen in those situations, because to a certain extent, like if you're with somebody that you're either getting to know or you have a familiarity with or you get a familiarity with, it's great to get to know people, but because you're in such an enclosed space, there's a sense of safety and you can like really get vulnerable. You can like, you really show who you are in those situations, or you can. And I thought they leveraged that with all of the scenes of them in the car and then at the gas stations transitioning in and out. That whole kind of segment I really, really loved, because I personally believe that there can be a magic when you're on a long car ride with somebody, and the conversations that you can have and getting to know each other and things like that. And I think that they just did that in such a lovely way, because there was such an ease about it, about their transition of time during that, their transition of like him driving to her driving, to talking about the book, to talking about other things, and then also at the gas stations or the gas station. I loved all the transitions there. I thought that it was really, really well done. And then, like I said, at the very end, bringing it full circle again, I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
This music is awesome. It just follows with the beautiful story. It's quite romantic, totally honest. The scenery is unpretentious and then also beautiful. We have this inside of a car, the gas station, the bridge, and then the seashore. It is just a natural environment. You feel that the script is relatable and plausible. And we get a great lesson on what happens when you almost do something, and the change of course that ensues after making or not making a decision, or doing or not doing something. It is beautiful. I just loved it. And yeah, we have this nice European city and great performers.